Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Yeah, skeleton crew, but we hope to be joined by Captain Rusty. He's at the Orlando Boat Show today, and we got a full list of stories to kind of navigate. What are you laughing at, Barry? Have some confidence in this crew.
Oh, okay. One day I'll look like a skeleton, but not today.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe. But yeah, we're going to navigate accordingly. And we do have some interesting stories, some terminology that we're going to share with our passengers today that will make you a more informed boater, or at least be able to impress your boating friends, because you're going to know more of the lingo. I mean, even some of these we haven't used on the World of Boating radio show very much. So, we're going to kind of go through some, words and, boating lingo world, and kind of educate everybody accordingly a little bit later on the show today. But first, we got to talk about a story that was dominating the boating world and even the mainstream media over the last week. I mean, it wasn't like, top headline, but it was definitely right up there, under all the political nonsense that we typically see. But this one was interesting. Or getting a lot of noise. And of course, that was about the sinking of the huge sailboat off the coast of Italy.
Super yacht.
Yeah, tragic situation, obviously. People have died. That's, a sad thing any way you look at it. But man, they were really trying to do everything they could to get this boat or find, see if there were going to be any survivors and that kind of thing. First off, the name of the boat was what? That went down there.
You want me to try to pronounce this? I'm gonna try.
Give it your best go.
The Bayesian.
All right, we'll go with that. Bayesian.
Bayesian.
And this was a massive super yacht or sailing vessel, right?
This was a gorgeous super yacht, and it went down way too fast.
Yeah.
So
and people are confused, like how does this happen? How could a big boat like that, especially something as nice and fancy, get caught in a storm and done. It's history so quick. Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's 184, or it was 184 foot long. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just sank, so they'll probably be able to haul it back up, but it's 184 foot long. And the scary thing about it is that it has a mast that is 200 and something odd feet tall. Let me see. I just had it a minute ago, but over like 240 feet. Yeah. 20, because I thought, wow, 24 stories tall on a mast. And, someone's going to have to go up there one day and change an antenna or change a light.
Yeah.
And that would never be me.
It would never be you. Never be me either. No.
Yeah. But it was a huge... Now, you were asking earlier, it is a single mast ship. It does have two sails.
Yeah.
So it's the main sail, and then it has one that looks like a jib sail. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but those are the only two sails I've seen on the photos that I've looked up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I saw this photo they put out in the news of the vessel right before, or the last picture, evidently they saw the vessel as the storm had approached, and all you see is the lights of the mast, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's nighttime.
Yeah, and it reminded me of, years ago I was diving off the coast of Saba in the Caribbean, and we pulled into the port there at the island at nighttime, and it's usually, there's no lights. This is kind of a pretty remote area in the Caribbean, and I was like, golly, there's a lot of lights there at the port. Where do all these hotels come from or something? And I realized as we got closer, like those lights were from the mast of the Maltese Falcon, which is like one of the largest or the largest sailboat super yacht in the world.
288.6 feet.
Yeah, but that picture I saw of this boat that they took right before the storm, or as the storm was going, the last picture of the boat topside, it looked eerily familiar to that scene. I remember when we were pulling into Saba, because all you saw were those lights that just
Oh, the lights on the mast.
yeah, and it just looked really very similar actually. And I was like, well, that's weird. Yeah,
But if you saw it at night, you would see the Maltese Falcon has 3 masts.
yeah.
Well,
It's just more lights. Yeah,
280. Yeah, right. 288 feet. But if you want, and I'm sure you can afford this, you could rent it for a week at $490,000 a week.
well, okay. We got Barry's credit card. It'll be promptly
No, my
denied.
limit is not that high.
Well, like I said, it would be denied.
It would be.
I didn't say it would help.
It wouldn't buy the water on board.
Very, very possible. But yeah, the thing is, I saw some similarities there, but everybody's very confused on what happened other than, it got caught in this storm, obviously, but no one would have expected it to flip over so quickly and sink so fast. And, and that kind of thing. I think that's what everybody was really scratching their head about this whole thing. And it's ended terribly, and was there anything that could have been done other than, I don't know. They claim, I mean, the stuff I've seen is that they're saying there had to be some kind of massive situation, like a tornado came in, microburst, totally caught them off guard, and this squall that had come through the area. And
they had interviewed a 36-year-old fisherman who was getting ready to go out for the morning. He said he arrived at the port at 3:30 for a fishing trip and saw the first flashes of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
So that was at 3:30.
Yeah.
Now, a ship like that should have someone on watch at all times.
Right.
Even if they're at anchor, someone should be at watch. Someone should have the radar running if any storms or anything's on the way, because generally a ship like that, they're not going to shut it down or close it up for the evening just because people are out there sleeping on it. As a matter of fact, it's nice to have things opened up and get that fresh sea air.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that at 3:55, a mini tornado arrived. The docks at the port diverted it. And it hit the sailboats head on.
Yeah.
So they had time. The question was, and then the yacht sank at 4:10. So
no, wait a minute. You say they had time. I'm not sure they did it if it was a tornado.
Here's what should have been. No, but here's what should have happened. The guy that's on watch says, "Aha, there's a storm approaching. Let me check the radar." And he checks the radar. And we have all kinds of technology now. You have stuff on your phone. You could see radar. You could see squall lines coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I use it on my boat all the time to stay out of trouble.
Right.
Someone should have announced, knocked on the captain's door, ding, ding, ding. Hey, there may be an issue. Do you think we need to, batten down the hatches? Do we need to seal up this boat in case it gets really bad?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we should notify our guests who weren't exactly, who are rather important people. And it doesn't seem like that happened. Now, some people survived.
Well, we don't know. Well,
we don't know yet.
Yeah, but I'll
they have
tell
an
you,
inquiry going on.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it was a tornado, I mean, how much preparation can you do? That's basically, if a tornado were to come right over a sailboat like that, is there anything you could do? I don't know that you can. That's what I'm wondering.
If you watch the Weather Channel or any of these channels and you hear about the storms traveling across the country, and then you have the National Hurricane, not the National Hurricane Center, NOAA.
Yeah.
And they will send out bulletins saying we're putting this area under a tornado warning.
Right.
We get them all the time down here,
But that's true, but that you can't move your house. And if you're...
No, you can't move your house.
What would you do?
So then you go to the center of your house, away from your windows. You try to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You lived up north. Did you have a basement in your home?
No.
Oh.
Oh, well, up in Ohio, yeah, but not here in Florida, we don't.
No, we call those swimming pools.
Yes.
But up there, they have a basement. They have
don't have that in
alarms.
A sailboat like this either. That's what I'm saying. Even if they were alerted and they knew there was bad weather, my question is, how do you prepare? I mean, it's like an act of God. If a tornado comes right over your vessel, I mean, I don't know if there's anything they could have done, is my point.
The way the sailboat is designed, according to the designer, is that you can lock down all the hatches, close everything up. I don't think it takes that long.
Yeah.
And you're essentially like in a submarine that is on the surface.
Well, possibly. All right, we'll continue this thought on the other side. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
explorer in the other two-thirds of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
You can't have 5 people or 10 people in a boat.
So if it is a family of 4 or 5, like husband, wife, and kids, they're going to have to pick 2 of them at a time.
They would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Greaseball, where did you get the right to tell me how many people can come on my boat? Nobody asked that question. Whoa, really? It's on the boat or on the dock? Nobody said anything. Sweetly sailing, darling, sweetly
sailing by the sea. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the Boater rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Okay, so look, this story with the sailboat off the coast of Italy, tragic situation any way you look at it. And I guess, you know, I totally hear what you're saying, Barry, when it comes to, you know, if they would have known this storm was on the horizon, could have they done more as far as sealing up the boat? You know, making it like a submarine. Maybe there were some hatches that were open, and that's why it sank so quickly. Obviously, it flipped it, no matter what.
And that shouldn't happen with a submarine.
Yeah,
that should not happen with a sailboat because they have a keel.
Right. But if it's a tornado, I mean, if it literally were to get swept up under, did you not see the movie Twisters? In the theaters right now?
All right. Stop it with your TV shows and your movies.
I'm just saying. I mean, if it really was a tornado that came over.
If it was a Sharknado and Sharknadoes were
from
falling
the sky.
Yeah,
just a tornado. Suck it right up.
It was a mini tornado, they think.
Well,
I mean, they have video of it. You can see it. What I think it did is that if they had, for example, they have on these ships hatches on the side for debarking, to go right onto a dock. So if one of those had not been closed and this thing had keeled over and just took in hundreds of gallons of water at one shot, that could be the reason why it went down so quickly. There had to be a reason.
Yeah.
The crew apparently was up on top, and the rest of the people that were staying on this boat were down lower in lower decks, and maybe it flooded very quickly.
Right.
Why did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Even if the mast got snapped in half, that would have just made it more stable. Because if you think about it, a sailboat, you had that keel on the bottom to help keep it stable. Then you had the mast on the top that it's working against. If that mast came down, now you have just the keel holding it like a bottle in the water.
Right. Well, I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. But see, I think about a story that I saw or, know about from years ago of a live aboard dive boat, probably 20 years ago. And basically the same kind of scenario happened. They had this thing tied up beyond belief. It was a hurricane situation. And what happened was, even though they had it all tied up in a hurricane hole, and everything was done properly, they experienced what they believed to be a microburst tornado, and it took that boat up out of the water, broke all the lines, and flipped it upside down, and it was tragic. Right.
Right.
So what I'm trying to get at is, if that's what happened in Italy, I'm not so sure they could have done anything differently. That's what we're going to have to find out, just, to see. And that's what I'm saying. If it's a tornado, I mean, it's just like if a tornado comes over your house, you could be down there in your basement or whatever, but you might, it might come over and you find out that you come out of the basement and there's nothing there.
Right, but you're still alive.
Well, okay, but if you're in a boat, you're not.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as though he could have just pulled anchor and started putting away.
Right, and that's my that's where I'm going with this. Is like I don't know if we're going to find out that there's anything they could have done differently. Now there may be, but when I think about that story from years ago, the lessons learned from that was, look, sometimes things happen and they're tragic. And, what can we learn? If you have time to get out of the path, of course. But if you couldn't, or you didn't have enough notice, or you didn't think it was going to be a problem, I mean, I'm not so sure that there's much you can do,
So you're talking about a boat 20 years. How big was this dive boat?
About 150 feet long.
150 feet long. And this sailboat was about 250 feet long.
Okay, it was even bigger, yeah.
And not only that, a sailboat has a lot of weight on it, again, because of its keel.
Right.
So there's a lot of weight down there.
Well, still, a tornado has a massive amount of power.
You said, but they didn't say it was a big tornado. They didn't say it's one of those 3 mile things. No, it didn't have to be. It just had to take the ship and turn it enough, keel it over far enough that if there was anything open to allow water come in. It's the same as if you're riding in your boat.
Rogue wave.
And you forget rogue wave for a minute. You're riding in your boat and you have a following sea. That means that you have waves coming. They're kind of pushing you along. They're following you,
and it'll swamp the boat.
You slow down. You get a big one that swamps the transom. Mm-hmm. You could sink.
Yeah, if you had the galley opened up and they could get back in there, sure, of course. I totally get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if we don't really know what exactly happened, They say there was a tornado, which makes sense. It would have to be something extremely drastic to make a big boat like that flip over and sink so quickly, too. Because that's what they were really talking about. Like, this happened very fast, and it shocked everybody. Because typically, even if it were to go turtle, like you said, if it just got swamped, initially it'd probably go turtle and probably float on the surface for a long time.
But that ship wouldn't do it.
It wouldn't,
just because of the way it's designed.
You don't think it would stay on the surface for a while with the air pocket?
It wouldn't go turtle like that because, again, the center of gravity is determined by the keel. The keel is very heavy for a reason. It has to counteract the wind pushing against the sail. Although, if you didn't have a keel, what would happen is as soon as the wind hits the sail, you would just kind of go sideways and keel over. You ever been in a catamaran or a Hobie Cat?
Yeah, of course.
You ever on it and it's really windy and you tighten up on the sail and you begin to feel one of the pontoons lift up and you're riding on one pontoon down the water?
Right. Okay.
So, those just use dagger boards. So, but imagine if you had weighted keels, you would never be able to do that with a catamaran.
All right. If you say so.
Well, that's what the keel's for.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
But we won't know for a couple of weeks. We won't know for a couple of months. There'll be dribs and drabs of stuff coming out.
Right.
But it was sad all over. It's just. I think they're going to find there was some human error. And
that's your prediction, then, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah. Well,
right.
And then of course
yeah.
I mean,
I hope best case scenario.
So what do you do?
Well, the best case scenario is we learn from this incident,
Right.
something could have been done differently that would have resulted in a better outcome than we got. And, that's what I like I said, I'm going back to the fact that if it's a tornado, I don't know if there's anything else you could do. I mean, it's,
Well,
there's
you
only
can't
so
outrun
much.
it. You can't outrun it. You
Right.
can only just batten down the ship. You can lower your sails or reef them back in. You could make sure that every window is shut, and if they have I forget what they call them. They're like these shutters that go over the windows to protect them.
Yeah.
And everything's just tightened up. And then what you do is you go to your passengers. You make sure they have life preservers with them, but don't necessarily put them on right away.
Right.
Because the worst thing you want to do is get caught in a compartment with water with your life preserver on, and you're only going up.
Yes. You don't want to tempt fate when it comes to the weather. That's for sure. That's a bare minimum I think you come away with from this story. All right, more coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Ryan, we've got to get on that ship. Attention passengers. The karaoke contest will begin in 5 minutes.
Okay, now we've really got to get on that ship.
Look at me, I'm ship-faced. I'm a nautical disgrace. Round these yachties, I'm out of place. I'm ship-faced.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, and Barry the boater rounding out the crew. All right, so enough about the tragedy of that sailing boat or sailboat off the coast of Italy. Let's focus on making our passengers a little bit more informed this week or in the future. Are you ready, Barry?
All right.
We got nautical terms for the seaman or sea person.
Okay.
That'd probably be better on many levels to just say sea person.
Do you know what a seaman is?
Yeah. Hello. I had the talk when I was young. It was probably about 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, of course I do. A nautical enthusiast, a boating.
No.
What a person?
You want
on
to hear
sea.
the actual? No. A seaman is one versed in the ways of the sea and ships. In the eyes of the law, every man on the articles is a seaman, except the master who does not sign them. In these days, there are two grades of seamen: able-bodied and ordinary. Which one do you think you are?
Ordinary.
You are correct, because the former are supposed to understand all regular ship duties required of seamen, while of the ordinary, little is expected in the way of skillful ship work.
All right, fair enough. So now we know the proper definition. I'm an ordinary. Do you count as a able-bodied?
I'm able-bodied with my boat, but to work a real ship, a big one, no, I'd have a lot to learn.
Okay.
I mean, I understand navigation. I took celestial navigation, stuff like that. I know how to read the weather.
Yeah.
but
Well, let's test
nothing like what they do.
your
Test,
knowledge
okay.
with some other terms. And,
All right, that you already have the
vocabulary.
answers to, right?
Yeah, but you're a seaman.
Thank you.
You're an able-bodied seaman, so you should know all of these.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So a bathed. What is that?
Bath is towards the rear.
That is correct. Or well, towards the stern. Come on, Mr.
Yeah.
Boater man.
Or the
Yeah.
aft.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a bathed though,
Mhm.
towards the stern. Okay, backwash. That is what?
That's the stuff that happens when you share a drink.
Okay, well, there's that too. That's kind of a boating term too, because you'll end up at the tiki bar dealing with some of that. But in the terms of when you're on a boat, the backwash would be what?
I'm asking you.
Oh, the water thrust aft by the action of the screw, the prop, right?
Ah, okay.
Okay. Caboose. What do you think?
Oh, you're going to be in such trouble.
That's one term they use for it.
I would say it's the stern of the ship, but I'm not sure.
The
if I would
caboose
wanna...
is the cookhouse or deck of a boat, according to this. All right.
Oh, that would be that little raised area where they're cooking there.
Yeah.
I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah. But Barry, he's kind of I guess he's a butt man, so he's just one track when he thinks caboose. He thinks, yeah.
I think
Moving
of
on.
Greggy.
Stop it. Don't make it awkward. Really,
Oh,
Barry. That's
really?
Jeez. All right. Derrick. Do you know what derrick means?
Well, I know that a derrick
world
was
of
a type
boating.
of a crane in a boat.
Yes, that is correct. A boom with its foot set at the foot of a mast,
Yep.
supported by a topping lift tackle and controlled by guys.
Right.
Like-
So it would actually be where the mast meets the hull of the deck of the ship. You would have a boom coming out of it, and you could change the angle because of the block and tackle going from the top of the mast
Yeah.
down to the.
All right.
that device.
Derrick and/or cargo
derrick.
boom.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see those on. You still see them on cargo ships.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ebb. EBB. What would that be in the world of
Well, I know
boating
what
terminology?
And as far as tide is concerned,
Yep.
ebb tide is usually like it's going away from you.
All right. Well, tidal current is flowing from the land. That's
Yeah.
the period ebb.
From the land, it's going away. It's going out.
Okay. There you go. All right. Fender. That's easy. It's a guitar, right?
Right. Not a very good one.
What are you talking about? They're great guitars.
The nice handmade, made in USA ones.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
But in the world of boating, of
Those
course,
inflatable things that people leave on their boats way too often when they're underway.
right. If you try
They're
to
just
have a pillow
flopping in the
fight with your
breeze.
fenders, you're going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
not that
they're-
kind of. They're not
They're
that
good for
soft.
rafting up so that no one hurts my little surprise.
Well, when you want to play bumper boats. All right, here's one. Growlers.
I have heard of that. That's some kind of drink that people drink at the bar.
Well, it's like the shape of the bottle, I think, isn't it? It's like a size of beer. But
I
in
guess.
in this instance, when it comes to actually boating terminology, and actually when it's a growler, that's that would work with a lot of seamen as well. But in this case, they're saying low-lying masses of ice, which are not easily seen by approaching vessels, owing to their dark indigo color. So it's kind of like a mini iceberg. Growlers in the sense of boating.
Low-lying masses of ice that are not easily seen by approaching vessels owing to their dark indigo
Yeah.
color. The term more particularly applies to isolated fragments of ice.
Yeah, I'll probably
So I
see
guess,
some
yeah.
next week. I'm going to Alaska. I might see some growlers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, here's one. This is a term for boating that we're going over here.
Right.
Handsomely.
Handsomely. It is a way of how can I describe it? Because I've heard that term before in a lot of sail
You've never been
movies.
called handsome.
Oh, that's it. Handsome.
Have you? Come on, don't lie.
Handsomely is just the way someone handles a sailboat. They handle it very well.
Okay, it says to ease off a line gradually and moderately, sometimes, as in the case of a cable, little by little. So gradually releasing the line handsomely.
Handsomely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know
he's
I've
not
heard it before,
handsome.
but
He's handsomely.
yeah, to ease off a line gradually and moderately. Sometimes there's a What'd you do? You took my book.
Yeah, this list was something you sent me like several years ago.
Oh, you giggling! You're taking my old homework. There.
That's right.
Look, this is my book.
That's right, the Mariner's Dictionary. Yeah. Okay, irons, which is probably what we're going to find ourselves in after this broadcast. What do you think there?
Well,
Barry?
if you're in a sailboat, that's when you are stuck with the wind blowing directly from towards your bow.
No, that's incorrect. Irons are handcuffs or leg irons.
It could be handcuffs, but no. In sailing terms, when you're in irons, you're stuck with the wind blowing towards your bow. You're not making any headway.
Well, that's not what the dictionary says. It sticks to handcuffs.
Well,
like
because I was thinking of you when I wrote it.
Well, if you're the captain and you send me to the brig, chances are you're going to put me in irons. So that's pretty, that's pretty typical, and I think I'm self-explanatory. All right, next one, Jamaica discipline. What do you think that means? Jamaica discipline in the world of boating vocabulary.
Let's see. They're going to take your hair and they're going to braid it.
I don't think that's correct. But here's the articles governing the routine of a pirate ship in the 18th century. By its terms, the captain took 2 shares of booty. The officers took 1.5, and
it
one
was split. Everything else was split. Yeah.
Well, a quarter to the rank, while the men shared the rest, kind of thing. Yeah. So Jamaica discipline. There you go. So
that makes
divide
sense.
the booty, and we're gonna leave booty alone too. All right, more coming
Remember,
up on the world of boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish because I eat me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the Boater. And now we are joined by Captain Rusty. He's at the Orlando Boat Show and hopefully selling a lot of boats. How you doing there, Rusty? What's going on?
I'm doing amazing. I haven't been with you guys in like 20 years now?
It seems like it. Time flies when you're drinking rum or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we may be slightly off on the time frame, but it doesn't matter. You're with us now. And that's what,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So what are you doing at the boat show there? You just, how's it going? First off, I guess.
So it's the crowds are good today. Definitely, I'm working the Chris Craft booth, and we got Tidewater. We picked up that brand, and Cobalt and Barletta.
Nice.
I just walked over and looked at Solus, which is an amazing boat. They have a new model here, a 28-foot, that is kind of a hybrid type center console.
Yeah.
So those are nice. It's a lot of boats in here today. Really probably one of the biggest shows I've seen in Orlando in a long time.
Oh, that's good to see or good to hear. Yeah. So, so how many boats did you bring to the show yourself from your dealership? You figure?
We bought about 12.
12. And do you hope to actually have like an agreement to sell a certain amount of them? I mean, like a goal that you set, or you just kind of go with it and see what happens?
We just kind of go with it. We sold, I think, about 3 or 4 so far today.
Oh, okay.
But I will tell you this, for anybody who's buying a boat this year, this is a time to buy a boat. I know a lot of people is going to go, well, I'll wait till the elections or whatever. But the price is, a few years back, you didn't negotiate. Everybody will negotiate at this point.
Right.
Everybody's got a lot of inventory. If I was buying a boat as a person just going in to buy a boat, I would haggle as much as I could because you will get a deal.
Yeah. Now, is that because
it's been a while since I could say that?
Yeah. Is it just because of the inventory, or are you feeling that pressure from the used boat market being flooded with, boats that are just a year or two old because of the pandemic? Are you seeing that impact too, or what?
Yeah, I think it's both things. And really what happened is when the dealers from the pandemic, dealers were selling a lot of boats, and so they ordered a lot of boats. The manufacturers started making a lot of boats. And so then the dealers started getting a lot of boats from their lots. And what happens is the dealer, we floor plan the boats. So that means that a company like Wells Fargo will pay for the boats and we pay them, like we're borrowing money from them to pay for the boats. Well, we have to pay interest on that money. And so you'll have a boat dealer, it's a larger boat dealer, they could be paying $60,000, $100,000 a month interest on the boats they have on their lot.
Yeah.
And at this point, they had preferred just to sell them almost at cost just to get rid of them so they can refresh their inventory and quit paying interest on the boats they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a time to buy a boat.
There you go. What do you think, Barry?
No, absolutely. He needs to turn that inventory so he's not stuck with something too long. It costs him too much.
Right. Well, are you ready to make a deal with Captain Rusty there, Barry? What do you think?
I just finished rebuilding my little Yamaha, and no,
so
I'm
that's
not doing anything right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, you're representing your dealership there at the Orlando Boat Show, Rusty, but you're obviously looking out, the other models and that kind of thing. So that one boat caught your eye. Why was it?
Yeah. Solus is the name of the brand. They're kind of new. It was actually the guy who started Everglades and was the president of Everglades, sold Everglades, and now he started another boat company a few years ago called Solus, and really kind of took it up a notch.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, I mean,
what looking at?
Yeah, just the quality of it, or is there something about the design?
It's a high-end boat, and they're doing more of a hybrid boat instead. So it's a fishing boat, but it's a little more hybrid for the experience of it.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I think, it's always nice to see new stuff, new innovations.
Yeah.
And that's got some really cool stuff on it.
Are you seeing any other trend at the boat show? Like people are gravitating to a certain style or size of vessel at this particular event? Or what do you think?
Not anymore. Everybody likes center consoles, but they always have.
Yeah.
I never quite understand it. Even people who don't fish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do look nice.
Right.
And of course, Orlando is one of the few markets that your towboats, for wakeboarding and surfing.
Yeah, we're kind of in the skiing capital of the world, so it's a little heavy in that regard, right? At the Orlando
it's always
show.
heavy there. Well, like Jacksonville show or Fort Lauderdale show, those you see very few, if any, of those boats. And here you'll see quite a lot.
Yeah. Are they doing any other kind of fun, event stuff like, Twiggy the water skiing squirrel or any of that kind of stuff, or no?
Well, Twiggy is not here now that you mention it, and the Twiggy's always here.
Mm-hmm.
They do have Gatorland Adventure, so you can pet a snake, an alligator,
oh,
a tarantula.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Tarantula? Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't like spiders or snakes.
I'm looking at these Solus boats.
Yeah.
And what's really neat about them is they're center console, but they are semi-enclosed center consoles. And if you recall, one of the things I like is a place where you can kind of hide away when it gets stormy.
Yeah.
So is that what he likes about them?
What do you think there, Rusty?
Yeah, no, I really like that. It gives you, it's a luxury type center console, and you can tell by the price. I mean, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
But it does give you kind of that Miami vibe, if you will. You kind of get the enclosure, you get the pretty lights, you get the nice switches, you get the quality of the woodwork, and I'm feeling like Barry needs to up his game, and get rid
he
of
always
the
does.
boat. And it's tax season's coming up.
Come on, Barry.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? What's wrong? He's so bright.
First, my little itty bitty tow truck's just won't do it. And a 30-footer, which is the smallest they make, I'll just have to get rid of the master bedroom and just shove the boat all the way into the house.
Well, that's fine.
You know how well that'll go
Yeah,
over.
it's just a home improvement. What do you want? I mean,
I know Rusty's really on my side now.
well, you got them laughing, Rusty.
I'm trying to help.
You got to loosen them up. You're doing a good job, Rusty. This is the first step in sales, your sales technique. I think you're doing well. But
Exactly.
but your overall message to anyone listening right now is don't wait. If you're thinking about getting a boat, now's a great time to buy. Don't let the current political climate or whatever's going on in the world let it keep you, because the deals are out there right now. Do you think it's going to get better or worse? What's your prediction over the next, say, 6 months to a year? You have one?
So here's what I think, and I think that you're going to see the market slow down, so they're going to need to sell it. It did the same thing last time.
Yeah.
Before an election year, they completely slow down, and they'll wait to see what happens in the election.
Yeah.
And then after the election, people start buying boats again.
Okay. So your message would be, maybe it'll soften a little bit more, but probably chances are it's not going to get much better than it is right now. So might as well go for it. Okay, gotcha.
That's my thought.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good plan, and probably good advice from someone who's been there and done that and keeps doing it to this day. So once again, Jacksonville Marine. What are the other dealerships? Let's plug them.
Blue Water Marine.
Blue Water Marine. There you go. .com, right?
Yep.
Okay. There
Absolutely.
you go. And look for them
Guys,
at the
take care
Orlando
of
Boat Show.
yourselves.
Yep. Absolutely. Captain Rusty.
Thanks, Rusty. Take care.
There you go. Captain Rusty at the Orlando Boat Show today. Just taking a moment to check in with us. Give us, he has give us, the pulse of the boating market. It looks like it's still pretty good. Maybe soft a little bit.
He reads it really well, too.
Yeah, he's usually right on.
He
with
read
his
it
predictions.
a couple of years ago, when everything was sky high, and then as it started to drop.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, what boating term would we call him? He would officially be an able-bodied seaman.
Yeah.
I believe, according to the Marine dictionary we had there, Barry.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay. Well, we're going to end the show in agreement for once on the world of boating. Till next week, remember, whether it is sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.